Don Seaman is about to join us up on stage to talk more about Gerry and to present him with his award tonight. While Don makes his way up here, I'd like to tell you a bit about Don. Just a few weeks ago, there was an event in this room to celebrate individuals who've made a significant contribution to our city. But there was a catch. These contributions and initiatives had to happen after the age of 70. Not all the amazing work that you've done leading up to it, but after the age of 70. So Don was one of the recipients of the top 7 over 70. At 92, he still works 9-hour days, even after 6 decades of making a difference in the Calgary business and philanthropic communities. He started a number of businesses after the age of 70, while contributing time and funds to make the Seaman Stadium a reality. Here to tell us more about Gerry Wood, please welcome Don Seaman.
I first met Gerry, and he did a lot of this afterwards when he bought Southridge Motors, and that's where I bought my car for many years. I needed station wagons because of a growing family, and the Mercury station wagon was very good. I really got to know Gerry in Maui. Basically, he happened to phone me and say, "Hey, is there any chance I can golf with you?" I said, "Gerry, maybe if you would like to join our early morning group." We're known as the Road Runners because we believe in golfing in less than 3 hours, and that's why we get the earliest time. So I said, "Gerry, we'll happen to have a time at 6:36 tomorrow morning. If you want to make it, you're welcome." He said, "Oh, that sounds great." So Gerry came and joined us in that round, and many more later. But anyway, he didn't slow us up at all. He basically understood the game of hit when ready, and that's Gerry. He's always ready. So, at any rate, a lot of the things that came on the film basically is the script that they gave me. He's been a very active person in the community. He's been, and so basically there's much to learn. Anyway, Gerry is a Scot through and through, having left Glasgow to see the world. He sailed from Liverpool in 1969, intending to visit the United States, and then to cross Canada on his way to New Guinea, where he was going to be with his brother. By the time he reached Calgary, he ran out of money. Now, I haven't heard the story why he ran out of money, but he did. Gerry worked for a time in construction, and then followed the footsteps of his father, an automotive dealer, and joined Macklin Motors as a salesman. In 1978, Gerry purchased a small GM dealership in Vulcan, Alberta. And then in 1981, Gerry bought Southridge Motors and Mercury Lincoln Motors, which is now Woodridge Ford Lincoln. Now, he must have done very well in Vulcan to start that. Over the past 18 years, Gerry has grown the business to 6 dealerships citywide, and includes a collision center family and other business enterprises. The Wood Automotive Group has pioneered and fine-tuned customer marketing initiatives, the concept of vehicle leasing, and a cost-effective, excellent service while fostering lifelong relationships. The Wood Automotive Group now employs over 600 individuals, providing outstanding employment opportunities in the Calgary area. In addition to all this, Gerry has given back a great deal to the community, with a game-changing focus on special needs and assisted living. inspired, I understand, by his beautiful daughter. I need to add also that I appreciate very much that Gerry and his firm is supporting the Okotoks dogs. Thank you very much. And Gerry, I might add that you have had a very successful career, and we wish that you could keep on that and that you continue the good work that you're doing with the community. And Gerry, it is a great honor to present you this award this evening. Thank you.
Well, we're almost over, folks. It's almost at the end. I was really happy to be picked to come last because I was having to curtail the refreshments to make sure I could read and speak in English. But thanks, Don. I really appreciate your comments, and honestly, it's a real honor to be introduced by a gentleman like you who I've admired and respected, and along with your brother Doc, I've fond memories, and just really neat tonight to have the connection. Junior Achievement, I think they started this venture in Scotland because I was a paper boy when I was 9 years of age. But anyway, great. Thank you, Junior Achievement, for the incredible honor. And I would like to congratulate the other Hall of Famers tonight, too. And Bill Yule and Elaine and I have been friends with Bill and Liz for 25 years. And his kilt didn't fit tonight, so we weren't allowed to wear them. You non-Scots don't get that joke. But anyway. Also, Pat Daniel, an icon in corporate community, and I've heard lots of wonderful things about Pat over the years. And finally, Pat Shouldice June, on behalf of Pat, I had the pleasure of meeting Pat 35 years ago through a mutual friend, Larry Welsh, who was our next-door neighbor. So it's kind of really neat that this world keeps turning and you keep connections, and it's really first class. It's certainly an honor, truly an honor, and I've been pinching my butt all day today and trying to figure out if I could say the right thing tonight and not make a fool of myself. Anyway, I'm really truly honored and truly humbled too to be in the same platform as some of these great, memorable folks and icons from Calgary and from before and also tonight. I would like to direct my comments to the young entrepreneurs from Junior Achievement, as you are the bright lights, and it was touched on earlier, who give us a real sense of hope for the future. And I love these other comments about how quickly 20, 30-year-olds can learn the lessons that it takes old guys like us a lot longer to learn. And in fact, one of my sons went to automotive school in the US, and it was a year program, and they go 1 week every 6 weeks. And I was amazed at how they said, isn't it amazing that my dad took 40 years to learn all this stuff? Anyway, I think it's really good that you can recognize, and I really appreciated the comments about how the minds are different today, the workplace is different, learning's different. And it's important that you recognize the opportunities when you come your way and don't be afraid to take chances. For me, it was 34 years ago. We owned the small General Motors dealership in Vulcan. It was a great little store. Our slogan was better by a country mile. One day, some Ford executives showed up at the door. They said they wanted me to buy a Ford dealership in Calgary. And quite a challenge. All of a sudden, we're looking at a staff of 15 people in Vulcan, Alberta, which had 1,200 population, to moving to a dealership in Calgary with 120 dealerships. And I had trouble looking after 15, let alone 120. It was really frightening. But as the family decided and supported, we decided to take the challenge. We had to change the name of the dealership in Calgary, as Don alluded to, Southridge. And we had to change the name fast. But a friend of ours was on the phone that night, and we chatted about with him, and just for a few minutes, he said, "Gerry, don't fool around, just call it Woodridge." And we did. And things took off from there. But that's what entrepreneurs do. There's some things that come your way, and you've got to take counsel and advice. Get the facts and information, which is something I didn't always do. But in the end, you've got to trust your instincts, and you've got to be brave. Every time we ask a business leader for some advice as to how they've achieved success, and we've done that lots, I've never had a person ever not want to pass on advice or support or help. They're always willing to share their knowledge. And that's another thing that we should never be afraid to do, because even the folks that are very, very successful are always interested in helping other people along the way. So seek out mentors and people you respect and trust. In fact, we still reach out to our mentors. So never be afraid to ask questions, and more importantly, be a good listener and take heed to what people are saying. My parents taught me well. It must have been a really tough job. And they taught me to be a big brother to everybody. My most influential mentor, as we heard earlier tonight, has been our dads and mums. And my dad was James. He taught me 4 important lessons that served me well. First, we touched on it earlier. Never forget from whence you came. Be true to your roots. Second was dare to be different. And don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd. Have courage. The third was compromise. And I heard this story, I don't know, many hundred times. My dad used to say this when we were having a fight or whatever. He'd say to my brothers and I, "Compromise, boys. Compromise is the difference between the desirable and the obtainable. And don't forget it." And then we touched on it earlier. If you want to get, you've got to give. The focus of our family business has always been commitment, integrity, values, and making a positive difference in the community. I am proud to say that our 3 children, Rory, Megan, Kaylin, and now we've Amy join our family. Why don't you guys just stand up for a minute and wave to folks, please? Elaine and I are very proud of the fact they are continuing to carry the torch. Our dear Megan has always been our guiding light in the world of Down syndrome. Years ago, when there was virtually no resources for individuals with Down syndrome, we started by supporting research and the Canadian Down Syndrome Society, which was actually started in Calgary. This led to 30 years of our Woodridge charity golf tournament, which helped us contribute to the Woodridge Prep Center that provides education, support, and inclusion for children with Down syndrome and their families. A huge thanks to Barb Teen, the executive director, and her team. Please give them a round of applause. Also very close to our hearts is the Salvation Army, which we are honored to support, and commend their work and commitment to the community. It's amazing how you always find the Salvation Army at the heart of action. They're there before anybody else, and they're just a wonderful organization, and we're just proud to be part of them. There's so many people I'd like to thank tonight, again, starting with our valuable team, Woodridge Automotive Group. As we said earlier, we've got 600 people, and we're so proud and appreciative of all the things that they've done. And we've grown as a family over the years, as was mentioned earlier, and we really support one another. And Elaine and I are extremely proud of the group we have, and we could never be here, as was mentioned earlier, without our team and the support. And they're the essential part. They are all valued, and they're an essential part of our success. Thank you to our many friends, and tonight we're blown away by how many friends we have and how much support and help we've had from our friends and business colleagues. And thank you to Junior Achievement and the selection committee, all the volunteers and the folks that did the video too. It's just amazing what's happened. We mentioned thank you to our children, Rory, Megan, and Kaylin. We're so proud of what they've already accomplished in their lives. I wouldn't be here today without the love and support of my wife, Elaine. She deserves so much credit and recognition for her efforts, especially in support of the Woodridge Prep Center and the golf tournament. I'm so thrilled and honored to share this award with you, Elaine. Let's conclude with another bit of advice for the young entrepreneurs with us. Our world is changing faster than ever before. Staying current is one of your biggest challenges. Be a lifelong learner. Nurture your mind, and always be curious. Always be curious and thankful for the world we live in. Thank you, and God bless.
All right, Grace has already asked some questions with our other two honorees tonight about mistakes, advice, and mentorship. Grace, what have you got for Gerry?
Not too hard, I hope.
So, Mr. Woods, you're obviously a very good salesman. Actually, sales is one area in which junior achievement students tend to struggle with a lot. After all, it's kind of scary to talk to people. So what advice would you give students like me on developing a solid sales pitch?
Well, today, as we mentioned earlier, so many things are changing, and social media is a huge part of our world, whether we like it or not, and we consider ourselves in our industry students. So we're continually looking at what's happening in our world, and also what's happening in the other social media world, because that is changing everybody's thinking, the way they buy, and the way they sell. So I would just say be students of what is working and what companies are leading edge, and just watch them, and continue to be able to communicate with your customers. And that may mean changing gears a little bit. It's a little tougher for older guys to do that, but there's a way of doing it, and it's amazing the success stories we see around us today. And it was touched on earlier with younger thinking and younger companies and opening of our minds, and you guys are very capable of doing that.
Thank you. Oof. Now my second question is, over the course of your career, what is something that you learned the hard way? So something that had really serious consequences. And in hindsight, how do you think you could have avoided it?
Well, there's a saying I have that I've got a bestseller coming out called "Screw Ups Have Made 'Em All." I would say that when you're in a hurry and you don't do your homework and you're not thorough and you don't do, for whatever reason, what you know you should do, then you're destined to hit the rocks.
Any more questions, Grace? Thank you, Gerry. Any more?
Now, these answers have all been really inspiring from all the laureates today, and I could ask questions forever, but I think we better let them go home.
Gerry Wood, ladies and gentlemen. Gerry.